I'm not eating Domino's. I I do have some news. Louis is doing well. Um, and speaking of Louis, he just joined back the party. So, eh, you're fine, dude. I'm just live streaming on YouTube. But I'm gonna bet you one of Zach's YouTube accounts. By the way, I had to block Zach from my live stream yesterday. I think I think it was yesterday or the day before. Um, because Zach wanted to start stuff with me. So, well, I noticed that. Well, the thing is, Zach made another YouTube account, but the problem. Well, the problem is that Zach made another YouTube account, well, channel, but I try to look for this account and it's not. It wouldn't show up. So theoretically, apparently, this YouTube channel that Zach has doesn't even exist, and yet okay, because I'm not talking about his video, his alpha video productions. I'm talking about a new one that. Yeah, I'm actually talking about the new one that I never seen before. I mean, I try to search it. Oh, here we go. Ah, Pook. No, I mean, actually, I'm trying to search this, and it actually is not showing up. So, Zach made a YouTube channel that does not exist, and it's actually been over 24 hours. Let me try. Oh, okay, let's do this. Unless if it's unless if it's all O's and not zero. Oh, wait a minute. I think I might figure it out. Um, yeah, see. Wait a minute. Let me check something else here. Yeah, I mean, it's not even showing up when I search it, so this is something I'm not happy about. Okay. So what's your plan? I mean, how long are you gonna stay up? Are you gonna probably go back to bed soon, Louis? Nice. Comments. Okay, we're gonna look at these comments here. Yeah. I had Domino's yesterday, actually. And I was actually talking and eating while playing, by the way. And yes, people, I actually use Sandy wipes to clean my controller after I was done eating. So, but yeah, I noticed. Yeah. All right. Excuse me. But, you know, I do have some decent news, Louis. Good news is that I can, I can actually, do 4 things. I could do 5 things at once. Alright. What you giggling about?
Oh no, I asked all three dudes. I said, no, you are box, you have no earnings, and no age earnings. You are free, so free. Freer than a free coffee at Costco.
Wait, and who'd you say that to?
I said that they're looking for, they were talking with so many dudes.
Oh, okay. Wait, what?
By the way, I didn't reply to what you said initially. You said I know, but it does use up a lot of internet due to my internet being in a juice box.
Look. But, um, severe weather outbreak that they're talking about tomorrow. You know, the thing is, we just got done having one last Wednesday, and yet here we go. We have another one coming in tomorrow. Another tornado outbreak is likely, but this one could be a little bit worse than last Wednesday. But the shocking thing is, from last Wednesday, is that there were no fatalities. You know, a couple of minor injuries here and there, but the thing is, the exact same areas that got affected last week will be affected again tomorrow.
Wow.
Internet drinks juice boxes, but boxed like a fish. There you go. And we actually have tornado warnings right now in Texas. Earlier we had one for the Denton County area around where the Texas Motor Speedway is located. And
I'll be right back as I leave, as I did, as we...
yes, yeah. That's all I had to say.
Oh, by the way, I'm gonna go get something.
Oh, good. What are you gonna have?
Probably some blank.
Oh, well, there you go.
Yeah, we'll see what we left.
I bet you there ain't.
Truly hope so.
Shit. All right. Now I'm gonna play an audio clip, you guys. I do want to give some credit to a few people here. I gotta find this, so give me a moment, you guys. All right. Here is an audio clip that I'm going to briefly bring up because the dynamics that's coming. Huh?
Oh, dog, got a snack and a beverage because it's gonna be a long one.
Shit. By the way, was there any pizzas left for you?
Yeah, there is. Watch this here.
Oh, okay. I'm going to actually play an audio clip, which I'm going to have to give credit to ABC 3340, obviously, but the thing is, you might want to make sure your phone is turned down as low as it can go, Louie.
It is.
Okay. Because it could be. But anyway, the thing is, the way the dynamics is gonna happen tomorrow is gonna probably end up being at least the same as April 27, 2011. And for those who probably don't know, here's an audio clip that I will play. And again, I'm going to give credit to, UAB, University of Alabama, Birmingham, and also ABC 3340 because, now he's talking about. Sorry, but anyway, he's bringing out comparing to like the generational events. So here it is.
It seems to be the time between these events. And this is the number that is unacceptable for anybody in this room. Nobody should accept that. Nobody in my enterprise, and you shouldn't either. And we've got to fix that. This is insanity. With the state of the science today, with the state of the warnings, in one day, 252 people died. These were precious people. Moms, dads, infants, little boys, little girls, college kids, people that live in the city, people live in the country, people that are high income, people that are low income. This crossed every demographic, socio-economic line. In my opinion, the death toll that day should have been 30. In 30 cases, people did the right thing. It was just their day. But 222 people ought to be eating lunch with us right now. And that's the only number I'm focused on. I know there will be a day, and I think this is an appropriate thing for people in my science to celebrate the lives that were saved that day. At this point, I really don't care about that. I have no interest in talking about it. The only interest I have, it's that number and fixing that the next time it happens. The morning storms that started off the day, we didn't forecast them well the night before. All the conventional forecasting techniques failed. Numerical weather prediction, climatology experience, all the things we used just didn't work. But the warnings were very good for the morning storms. And by the way, the morning event is a standalone, was a disaster. 5 people died, and 250,000 people had no power. And that really gave us problems for the big show later that day and that night because of the damage created by the morning storms and the power outages. Social media changed that day, and we'll talk about that if we have time.
But theoretically, this kind of stuff happens every 40 years. And the last time before April 27, 2011 occurred was back in 1974 with the super outbreak and then the outbreak of 1973. But before that one, there was an event on 1932. And there was no history, And people think that the death toll back in 1932 was over 700. And that made a lot of sense given the fact that they didn't have tornado warnings, they didn't have radar, they didn't have spotters at the time, they didn't have cell phones at the time, so it was really hard for people to take action. So theoretically, it's like these events happen every 40 years. And obviously, apparently, even though this happened, 10 years ago, apparently April 27th could happen tomorrow, the way it's looking. The dynamics is actually really there. I just hope everybody was aware of it because everybody's still you know, struggling because of what happened last week. But actually, I need to go back to Radar Scope. Oh boy. Okay, at least this is radar indicated, but it's probably not going to be for long. Right now, Texas is getting hit, and that ain't good. Right now, the weather services or the storm prediction center still holds the moderate risk, which has actually been expanded a little bit to include Nashville, actually, for tomorrow. Now, keep in mind these convective outlook actually goes from, I don't know, but I know they go until like the next day at 7 a.m. But you know, the thing is, things really changed over the 10 years, obviously, because the sweet thing about the radars now with their updated radar, because back 10 years ago, the only thing you would see on radar was the debris ball, and that was it. But now with the duopole radars, you can see correlation coefficient, and that'll tell you if it's down or not. But you know, even though you can see a debris ball, we keep in mind that the duopole radar actually was invented 3 years later in 2014, and ever since that's been really if only they were able to do this stuff, you know, 10 years ago instead of waiting until 2014 to do all this radar upgrades and stuff. Yeah. But the problem is that I'm thinking that all these news teams, you know, weather stations, should install way more cameras in these towns, because you could have one downtown somewhere and, but I think they are not doing that.
Tornado warning.
And oh, that's a continuous tornado warning, as far as I know. By the way, it is 10:16 p.m. Man, I tell you what, Louis, if this tornado's not on the ground, I don't know what would be, man. But yeah, we actually have a flash flood warning for Mississippi. 2 to 4 inches of rain. Huh? He was on earlier. I don't know what you're talking about. You know, I'm trying to figure something. Wow. By the way, guys, if you all want to hear me talk smack to Richard, give me a moment. Alright, so oh geez, dude. Right. Okay, this guy hammers brakes. Huh? Which one? Or what kind? Mm-hmm.
What's up?
Well,
Hey, big guy. Well, looks good.
well, you know, it's their deals that they got, because the pizza I got, I mean, hell, I actually bought a lot of shit. Um, they had a deal for a medium pizza for $5.99 each, and I got me one. Man, actually, it was. I mean, it could have been $5.99 if I only, whatever. But whenever I don't like pizza sauce. I only go for barbecue sauce. Huh? Mmm. Yeah, I tried those once, and yeah, but I don't like pizza sauce. Whenever I order a pizza, I always make sure they put barbecue sauce on it, and I actually had them put extra barbecue sauce on it because I want to make sure it's not dry. And they put a lot of barbecue sauce on it, and then I had chicken with onions on it, and then I actually had breadsticks, obviously, and I also had a sandwich. And Domino's make pretty good sandwiches, to be honest. I had the bacon chicken ranch, or chicken bacon ranch, whatever you call it. And then I also had a dessert. And yeah, they have really yummy brownies.
They're coming, all right. I'll let you decide who they are.
Okay, who someone also messaged in this thing. Who said what? What? Huh. I do want to say hello to the one that just, who messaged. I hope you do.
Domino's pizza that's nasty.
Well, hang on. Who?
The government is not your friend.
Hey, Louis. This Diga Bravo, Digo_Bravo74, he's a friend of yours, right? Okay, because he followed me. Oh, okay. But yeah, okay, someone did... Oh, by the way, just to give you all heads up, I'm going to actually do something here. I do have James Bayon followed on Instagram, and he is live right now. And
On Song of the Night. Song's about Mama. Mama. So, Ashley, are you ready?
I'm so ready.
You are ready. You are prepped.
I'm prepped and ready. I have
Ready?
everything queued.
All right, queued up, ready to go. All right, so it's Song of the Night on the gram.
Anytime.
But I know that many of you are interested in a weather update because we have another active weather day tomorrow. Another week of severe weather. So let's go back and talk weather. We'll come back and get Ashley's song. Tai-Shin, you might be bumped tomorrow night. You might be preempted, which means you'll be Friday. So just be ready for a preemption. And tomorrow night. So we'll kind of walk you through the timeline here and talk about what you need to be doing tonight. And really, it's the same kind of things we talked about last week for the event last Wednesday. And by the way, we're watching big storms out in Texas tonight. You can see those storms out around Dallas and Tarrant counties. This is Tarrant County, Fort Worth. This is Dallas County. And notice a few severe thunderstorm warnings out there. We had one tornado warning for Denton County earlier. Years ago, I used to do the weather on Channel 4 News, Dallas, Fort Worth. So know that territory pretty well. So what we're going to do really quickly is go to the high resolution.
3 more Second Amendment.
Let's go to the HER model. Do you want to do that? The HRRR, the high resolution rapid refresh. And we'll just kind of go through a timeline here. All right, so let's advance this. Now, this is in the middle of the night. After midnight, we're going to have a big batch of rain and storms. So after midnight, you might hear some thunder. Odds of severe weather are low, okay, with this stuff coming in here after midnight. And that's going to move on north up into the Tennessee Valley. This is, let's stop it at 6 a.m. That's 6 a.m. right there. This is 7 a.m. So when you wake up cloudy, A lot of rain falling across the Tennessee Valley, showers. And understand there is a marginal risk for the activity late tonight and tomorrow morning. There could be a few storms with small hail, gusty winds, maybe a brief tornado. But the clear concern is for tomorrow afternoon and tomorrow night. We've got this level 4 out of 5 risk about as far east as Weiss Lake, Gadsden, Alabaster, and Marion, an enhanced risk all the way down to places like Prattville. And the greatest concern for these violent tornadoes is going to be along and north of Interstate 59 and that moderate risk. So let's go back to the timeline. So we'll stop it at, let's say, this is 1 o'clock. And very unstable air will be surging northward. We have strong wind fields, a dynamic system coming in here. And really, any time after this, any of this stuff right in here could be severe. I don't think we'll have the rain organized like that. I think it's going to be more cellular in nature, more discrete, and the storms could clearly rotate. I'll show you one of the composite indices. This is the significant tornado parameter, and you can kind of see how those numbers really become elevated. This is 5 o'clock tomorrow afternoon. That's an STP of 14 around Tuscaloosa, very elevated. And again, those numbers will be moving on to the east with a cold front. Of course, there's your cold front. This is 9 o'clock tomorrow night. And once the front passes, the severe weather threat is ended. But in that afternoon and evening time frame right in through here, and there's an STP of 10 for Birmingham. Just be aware that there could be a few thunderstorms with large hail, damaging wind, and the chance of a few tornadoes. And again, there might be a long track tornado in there somewhere. Let me show you a product called Updraft Helicity, which kind of shows, potential for, rotation. And tornadoes are not going to necessarily go right in through here, but again, those long lines, you just don't like to see that. This is evidence supporting these long-lived supercells that maintain themselves for a long time. So what you want to do tonight, and you know this, I mean, if you were ready last week, have 2 ways of getting a warning. Never, ever, 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 ever a siren. If you think you're going to hear a tornado warning from an outdoor warning siren, you pretty much have no hope. They reach a limited number of people outdoors. The key is a weather radio, and I don't have one with me in this room right now, weather radio, and your smartphone. And on your smartphone, get our app, ABC 3340 Weather, and be sure that emergency alerts are enabled under notifications. And then know your safe place, small room, lowest floor, near the center, no windows. If you live in an apartment complex, you can't stay on the 2nd, 3rd, or 4th floor. You got to be on the 1st floor. Hall, closet, bathroom. And in that safe place, have helmets for everybody. Most people that are seriously injured or die in tornadoes, it's blunt force trauma to the skull or the neck regions. So that's really important. And we like for people to have portable air horns. And also hard-soled shoes in case you have to walk over a tornado debris field. And if you live in a mobile home, you got to know where you're going. You can't stay there. Cars are great. Mobile homes are great. You can't stay there during a tornado. Know the nearest shelter or a business that's open 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, and know how to get there quick. And we'll get through the day together fine. A lot of people have a phobia, a fear of weather because they've experienced some type of trauma in the past. Maybe they've gone through a tornado themselves. Remember, even on a big day, which tomorrow might be, the odds of any one place being hit by a tornado are very small, very low. So just have comfort knowing that. But still, you have to get the warnings and be prepared in case something like that happens. Sorry. I thought y'all were doing the sports. And y'all were talking.
She just did an update
Okay.
on that situation in Tuscaloosa.
Okay, I'm so sorry.
It didn't bother
I feel like I wrecked their newscast.
She didn't hear a thing. You're fine.
Okay. Yeah, we got a really nasty high-speed chase in Tuscaloosa. But anyway, this is the approximate timing for the afternoon round. And the window kind of opens at noon. And really runs until 10 o'clock for most of you. If you're on the eastern side of the state, the window is 7 to midnight. But I don't want you getting hung up in these map colors and risk areas and numbers. Just understand if you're in the northern half of Alabama, you got a pretty good chance of having a rough day tomorrow, a bad day. and do the things we talked about, and I promise we'll get through it okay. So I should also mention we've got a flash flood watch for the Tennessee Valley. This includes Cullman County because the rain's going to be pretty heavy up there. Rain amounts could exceed 2 inches in that part of the state. So be aware of that. And yeah, this is this deal in Tuscaloosa. Apparently some guy was going like 100 miles an hour down McFarland, and it was a police chase, and a bunch of cars got in a horrible wreck. One police officer was injured, and I think they still have a suspect on the loose, but just a horrible situation there. This is right by University Mall and Midtown Village in Tuscaloosa, and this happened a few hours ago. Yeah, Ginger was here. Ginger Z, she came by to see us. Ginger, when Ginger was here, the weather office used to be way over there in that corner. And she was here 21 years ago. She was only 3 years old when she interned with us. But anyway, she came to see us this evening. And she is going to be live on Good Morning America on ABC tomorrow from Birmingham. I don't exactly know her location. Then she'll be out in the field with everybody else tomorrow afternoon. So we got you covered. We totally have you covered here. So what I'm going to do is get my stuff set up here for this last weather check. I'm not going to be showing pictures tonight. And this is the leading edge of this big rain mass. Again, Birmingham is up here. Greenville, Alabama. I've been there a time or two. Used to live there. That's my childhood home. Camden, Thomasville, Linden, Demopolis, just a lot of rain. Not much lightning. 2 lightning strikes here in the last 10 minutes. Most of the lightning's down here in Washington County. But that's going to move up into the northern part of the state after midnight. And there's been no severe weather issues. We see no evidence of any trouble now. But again, that should move north of us by mid-morning, kind of setting the stage for the really big severe weather problem tomorrow afternoon and tomorrow night. The encouraging thing, I really don't think we have any severe weather next week. We've gone 2 weeks in a row with these big severe weather days, but at this point, next week is looking pretty quiet. Typically, the first week in April brings something weird, a snowstorm, tornadoes, something. But for the moment, it looks quiet, but we all know that could change. I have to talk over here, so I got to be quiet for just a moment. I'll be very quiet.
Thanks a lot, Jeff. And stay with us, a final check on your forecast.
CONUS tornado alert, tornado warning.
All right, Miss Ashley, it's your turn. Go. Everybody's anxiously awaiting.
Okay. I have 1973, The Intruders.
This is way before you were born. How do you know of these songs?
Well,
Oh, yeah. I'll always love my mama.
And I actually had to turn that down.
every Mother's Day, I would hear this song, and people would call into the radio station and shout out their mom and say why they love their mom and all that. So this is a song that I always hear, always love.
What a great song. That is a happy little song. And I hear it on Mother's Day. Around Mother's Day, they'll play that sometimes. That is just like awesome. Wow.
It's been stuck in my head since I queued that up.
Wow. That is so awesome. I think about Mom. I think about the Bear Bryant commercial, one of the greatest commercials ever. The former Alabama coach did a South Central Bell commercial about long-distance calling. And at the end, I'd come on there and, you better call your mama. I sure wish I could. Because his mom had passed away, and it was just that was the great Bear Bryant commercial. So wow, that's awesome. Wow. All right. So again, Natai Shin's probably going to be disrupted. He's going to be preempted by weather, but he's going to do it on Friday. Yeah, he's going to do it on Friday. The funny thing, they had me on this Talk of Alabama one morning. Guess who got preempted? Me.
Oh, no.
Because of news.
CCMCG number
I said, I
0247.
deserve this. I am the guy that needs to be cut off. After cutting off all these shows, I deserve this. It's coming back. I know what it feels like now. But I was over there with Nicole, and it was ABC's news special report on something. I didn't know what it was. But we looked down and realized, hey, we're not on the air anymore. Total payback is what that was. No, this was like 2 years ago. It was like a while back. It was. I know it was about that book. No pictures, just the graphics. Watching the radar carefully tonight, we have a big batch of rain and thunderstorms across southwest Alabama moving in our direction. We could see some strong storms after midnight tonight and tomorrow morning. There's a low-end marginal risk for the morning activity. The main concern tomorrow afternoon, tomorrow evening, an elevated risk, a potentially dangerous situation for about the northern half of the state, especially north of Interstate 59. The main window for most of you between noon and 10. Taylor Serralo and the Good Morning Alabama team will pick this up at 4:30. Of course, we'll be here for continuous coverage tomorrow when tornado warnings start. Be very weather alert. Be sure you can hear warnings. And if you do get a warning, turn on ABC 3340 and we will be right here.
All right, thank you, James. And that's all the time we have for now. Jimmy Kimmel is up next.
Our next news is tomorrow morning at 4:30 on Good Morning Alabama or anytime on the ABC 3340 app.
You know, I can't wait, and I can't wait till tomorrow actually, because even though it's not going to be a good day, but you know, it's going to be to a point of how strong these tornadoes could be.